So you clicked on this video because you're buying a new home in Loudoun County and you're trying to figure out what the school boundaries are, school ratings. Like, do we even look at those things, or are they even important when purchasing a house? And where do we go to find these things? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to break it down for you. Hi, my name is Laura Griffin. I'm with Loudoun Living and Pearson Smith Realty. I'm a top-selling real estate agent in the Northern Virginia and Loudoun County area. I also run a very popular moms group called the Loudoun Moms with everything that you need to know about being a mom in Loudoun County. And so often buyers will come to me and they are considering where to purchase a home. Maybe it's the end of the school year and they're thinking about next school year, making sure that they make a movement, or maybe they have a rising kindergartner and they're trying to figure out where to buy a house and all the school boundaries, school ratings, and how that plays into their home search. And I will tell you, the school boundaries and the school ratings usually plays a big part in where buyers decide to purchase. So we're going to break down some strategies for you and where to look for this information if you're thinking about buying a home this year. First and foremost, it's important to understand school boundaries and how that plays into your target area. School boundaries are defined by a geographical area, and a house on one side of the street might go to a different, say, elementary school than a house on another side of the street. So definitely you want to take a look at school boundaries whenever you're looking at a particular home. If you're really honing in on one particular, say, elementary school or high school or even middle school. And I'm going to tell you one little secret. As a list agent, oftentimes I'll put in a house into the MLS and then we can click a button and it tells us what schools that house goes to. And I will tell you, a lot of times it's wrong. So a lot of times inaccurate information gets put into the MLS, or sometimes the websites such as Zillow and those will pull different schools that aren't quite right. So how are we going to overcome this? You're going to take the web address that I'm going to post below for Loudoun County schools, and you're going to put in the house number and the zip code. The computer is then going to generate all the different configurations of that house address with that zip code, and you're just going to find that particular house on, say, 123 Main Street. You're going to click on that and you're going to pick the school year. So if we're kind of at the end of a school year, you may want to check what the zoning is for the following school year, because oftentimes the school boundaries change, or new elementary school or high school's open, so things have been changed. So take a look at it and it'll tell you the precise information for the exact elementary school, middle school, and high school. So sometimes when you're looking at school boundaries, the internet is not always correct, but the Loudoun County school website is always 100% accurate. So double check that, and don't forget to also check the next school year, just in case we're towards the end of the school year. Now let's talk about school ratings, right? So oftentimes buyers want to buy a particular home because it's at a particular school that's rated highly. So what are the school ratings? So the school ratings are rating that's assigned to a particular elementary, middle, or high school, and it's comprised of a couple different things: academic test results, student-teacher ratios, parent satisfaction. So all of those play into those websites that give you a school rating. Now, it's important to look at a variety of websites and to check different ratings, because different websites can give you different data. So I'm going to post a few websites below, such as niche.com, greatschools.org, and of course, Loudoun County Public Schools will also have accurate information about this school, and they'll give you everything that you need to know about that particular school's education ratings, what their student-to-teacher ratio is, and then you'll also get some parent satisfaction to see what are people saying about that particular school. So it's important to take the school ratings with a grain of salt and to get a variety of information, because a number doesn't always tell the full story. And something that could be rated really, really high may not be the right school for you. The same with a school that might be rated a little bit lower may be the right fit for you. So definitely take in a whole approach to this and ask a variety of sources. So there's a lot of great Facebook groups in our area. I happen to run one called the Loudoun Moms. I can link a link below to that one, and ask people. And there's a couple other groups too, but ask them, hey, does anyone's child go to XYZ school? I've got an incoming first grader. What's it like? And not every school has the same program. So you want to look at what different programs a particular school might have. I know there's a couple new elementary schools this coming up school year. They're going to have immersion programs. So it's going to be kindergartners are going to learn English and Spanish. So that's a really cool program that not all the elementary schools are going to offer. So you definitely want to see what that particular school might have. It might be a benefit for your children. If you have a child on IEP, like I do, it's important too to also understand, well, how does that process work at that school? Do they have any specific programs that might be to benefit for your child that maybe another school wouldn't have? I say schedule a visit with the school, talk to the administration. They're always happy to do it. Even if it's the summer months, little secret, they're still there. So you can definitely schedule an appointment and get answers to all the questions that you have from the administration team. But definitely take the ratings with a grain of salt. Now let's discuss a practical approach, right? So create a checklist of what's important for you and your family and consider those into your school search. When you're looking for a home and you're trying to hone in on a particular school that you want your children to go to, definitely create a checklist and think about what academic programs make that school have that might be different from another school. Do they have extracurricular activities? The diversity. If you have children with special needs, they have special needs, different programs at that school. Transportation options. Some schools have a large walk zone and a lot of homes will be walkers. And then some schools have no, like where my kids go, we have no walkers. It's all busing. So that kind of can play into a factor too when you're looking at a school. Also, think about the community involvement. What's the PTA like? Is the PTA very involved? Is there lots of things going on, or are they not as involved? Those can really play into your decision, and make it a checklist and definitely look into those different options. So if you stay focused, you ensure that you're looking for homes in the areas that fit your family's educational needs. Additionally, reach out to real estate agents such as myself. We have access to some other resources to take into consideration with the other data that you're collecting. I can often pair you up with a past client that may have a child that goes to that school or has had a child that goes to that school to kind of give you some inside information. Or perhaps I have a friend who I can connect you with that also has a child at that school, just to give you a little bit more information and some guidance that might be really valuable in your home search, and particularly if you're looking at school boundaries and school ratings. And lastly, remember that a school can play a significant part in your property's resale value later. So often I hear from clients, we don't have any children. Why do we care where this house is zoned to? Or, we have a new baby and, we're 5-6 years off from kindergarten. We don't care what elementary school we go to right now. Well, sometimes homes in sought-after school districts or sought-after school boundaries, in our case, can play a huge factor in how that house is resold later. Oftentimes we'll have areas that have more desirable schools, and so people will flock there, which does increase some property values or makes that house a little bit easier to resell later. So even though you may not be thinking about schools right now and it may not be a big factor to you with buying a home, it's definitely something that you want to think about, especially if you're going to not hold this house forever and you're thinking about selling it within a few years of purchasing it. Definitely schools can play a factor into resale value. So to summarize, when you're purchasing a house, navigating school boundaries and school ratings can be a little bit of a daunting task, but it's super easy to do. You just need to take into consideration multiple resources. With the internet, you have access to tons of different information points, and create a checklist of your educational priorities, leverage technology, leverage those Facebook groups and other online resources. Seek guidance from real estate agents such as myself or friends and family in the area. If you don't know of anybody, I'd be happy to connect you with some people to get a little bit of a different perspective, and consider the long-term impact of a school boundary or a school rating on your home's resale value later. If you have any questions about buying or selling a home in the Loudoun County, Northern Virginia area, I'd love to be a resource for you. My contact information is below.